Okay, stop before you take out that $40,000 loan and spend the next 4 years of your life in college because you want to pursue an education route to a high paying, stable government career. You're going to want to hear this. Not all degrees are equal when it comes to government service. You're probably going to have a lot of schools trying to sell you on these degree tracks that they say are the fastest way to a public service career, but in reality, that's not always the case. And today I've got the turtle shirt on because I'm going to bring to you the 5 slowest track degrees to a government service career. So, kicking off the list is going to be English and literature majors. Now, I know what you're thinking. It's English, it's a versatile degree, it can fit in so many different career roles. And that may be true to some extent, but when we're talking about government career, the problem is it's just too broad. It's not specialized enough. It's not going to be what you need to put you ahead of people who have degrees that are more aligned with their career path. The honest fact about government work is that versatile means specialized. Now, I'm not saying that your degree has to fit right into some pigeonhole, narrow focus of your career path, but it does need to have some kind of specialization. It needs to show that you are bringing some form of education that fits the career path that's going to allow you not only to succeed, but to move forward, not only yourself, but the agency that you're working for. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that an English degree is completely useless because I do have a belief that some degree is better than none. However, for a lot of these government careers that you're looking at, you're going to be passed over for people with more specialized degrees in like finance, accounting, IT. The fact of the matter is that English and literature, it's just too broad. The number 2 degree I'm going to talk about is a fine arts degree. Kind of counterpoint to the first degree. This one is just simply it's too finite, it's too specialized. There's just not a lot of need for a fine arts degree in government work. Now, you could potentially get a role in like a museum or a national park or archives preservation, but there's just not a lot of these jobs out there. So if this is something that you're just absolutely passionate about, like Brian, no, that's dumb. I definitely want to pursue a fine arts degree. That's where my passion is. Just understand that there is a good chance that is going to take you some time to find an actual high paying career with the fine arts degree. Number 3 might come as a surprise to a lot of you, but it's going to be the criminal justice degree. Now, a lot of colleges, and including the colleges I went to, they really push criminal justice degrees if you want to get into law enforcement or corrections. You don't need a criminal justice degree for these careers. In fact, if you're looking to be working at the federal level for like the FBI, the ATF, you're going to be so much better served if you get a degree in accounting, finance, IT, a STEM degree, anything like that. It's going to be so much more helpful because in these law enforcement correction careers, they are going to teach you what you need to know. You're going to start off by going to an academy that might run between 3 and 6 months long. And then you're going to go into some kind of field training. It's going to be months on top of that. And then after that, you're going to be on probation where they're going to be kind of looking over your shoulder for the next, year, maybe 2 years, 6 months, but they're going to teach you what you need to know. These criminal justice degrees are almost absolutely worthless in this field. On top of that, if you are in criminal justice and say you get hurt and you can't do the job anymore, or you simply decide, like, hey, I don't really like this, that degree is almost worthless outside of the criminal justice field. So disregard what the schools are telling you, pass on the criminal justice degree, find something that will teach you a skill or give you knowledge in something that could be related to a criminal justice career but isn't just this broad scope criminal justice degree. Next up at number 4, we have psychology. And this is one that I have seen a lot. I don't know why, but there has just been this push for psychology degrees. They've been pushed as like this number 1 degree, doesn't do a whole lot for you unless you are using it as a gateway to a higher level career. In government, where this can really come into play is social work. There is a huge demand for social workers right now. However, you're not going to generally get one of these jobs with just a bachelor's of psychology. You're generally going to need a master's of social work. Where you might find a little bit of success with a psychology degree is working in a low to mid tier government position, such as being a mental health aide or working in the office of a social work agency. But generally speaking, if you're getting this degree, it really should just be the platform to move up to a master's of social work because social workers are absolutely needed right now. And there are so many openings across the country for that role. So, bringing up the rear, and this is going to be really similar to the psychology degree. And it's another one that you might think is crazy, but it's also going to be the biology degree. The biology degree is another one that is just a gateway to a higher degree if you want those higher paying jobs in government. Same thing with a psychology degree. This might help you move into a low to mid tier position, but for a lot of those positions, they don't require a bachelor's degree at all. So you're going to spend $40,000 on a degree that's almost worthless that somebody else who has maybe just 60 college credits or an associate's degree or maybe just a high school diploma or GED is going to move into that same job that you spent all that money on. So basically, if you get the biology degree and you're not planning on moving any further in your education, you're going to run into the same problem as those with the psych degrees. You are not going to be looking at a great return on investment for all the money that you put in to get that degree. These degrees are not actually completely useless. Many degrees have their purpose. These are not going to necessarily be the best degrees for government work. So I'm not saying that if you get one of these degrees, you're just never ever going to find a career. If you want a degree that's going to actually propel you into a stable, high paying public service career, you've got to find something that's a little bit more specialized. I've talked about them a little bit already. Finance, IT, accounting, STEM, cyber, anything in those kind of fields, those are going to give you the specialized skills that you need to excel, to really stand out in a government career. And I'd also like to know what you think. If you are someone who has a great government career and you built it on one of these degrees, I would love to hear your story down in the comments. And equally, if you are someone with one of these degrees who is struggling to get into government work, did I miss any degrees? Are you someone who has a degree somewhere else and you're just struggling to find a government career? Let me know in the comments. And if you are someone who is interested in more information from someone who's been there about getting into a government career, go ahead and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.